Okay, today I have got the energy of somebody being discarded. And the energy of things that are discarded aren't worth nothing. But then you find out in the end that they are. So I felt compelled to get some books that people discard and think that they're not important. There's just books that people think aren't important, people that think people aren't important. So I'm gonna go ahead and read from some of these books because I was compelled to, and there's these flashcards, okay, that my grandson, I teaching him words and stuff, y'all. I try to be a good grandmother, but I'm gonna find out who's discarding who, and these are like the most basic kind of cards ever. They really are. I don't even know if I can even shuffle these things. I guess you could shuffle them. So I'm gonna start with these simple little cards. I want to say because they're discarded. They're something that you would throw away, but they could be very useful. All right, let's see what comes up. All right, we got pants. Someone's trying to wear the pants in the family here. Pants. And then I'm going to take my little board. Alright. Pants. And then scarf fell out. Oh, pants and t-shirt. They're trying to dress themselves up like you. Someone's trying to copy something that someone's doing. And then there's a scarf and a business suit. They're trying to create different versions of you. Maybe this wasn't the worst idea of all. Spirit told me I should use these. I guess these have a purpose, but they told me about discarded energy. And then we got spoon and mobile phone. Someone's trying to spoon someone information on a phone. Maybe stuff they found on the internet. Okay, I think that's it. This is two cards. Oh, no. And then we got fork and spoon, and they're trying to hand feed somebody information that's not true. I guess these, and there's kite. They're trying to take their narrative and fly it away. Maybe these weren't the worst idea. Spirit told me that because I was gonna, and maybe they have a dog. I don't know. Maybe this wasn't the worst idea. Sometimes Spirit gives me this weird stuff to do and weird cards to use. And today we're just gonna start there. Alright. Alright. And then they want me to read from some of these books. Okay? And I just got to this Spirit saying in full bloom. Alright, this is Chicken Soup from the Soul. Alright, then we have She Was Outside looking at the flowers. So I don't think I mentioned this earlier. But one of my hobbies is taking photos of flowers, she says, contemplating the few blooms left in my yard. Let me get my camera. Knock yourself out, I shrugged, wondering why anybody would bother. I had not planned much this year. Hang on one second. Alright, John, we're going to close this door. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm back. Anyways. It says, I had not planned much this year, cutting back on nearly everything since losing my job. But if she wanted to take pictures, It had to be a difficult year. Just when I thought I was done with the bitterness, it would all come rushing back. The last thing on my mind was flowers. She aimed her lens at a rose. I hadn't seen her in nearly 20 years since college in New York. The world had changed. Maybe this is about discarded energy of change. So, yet we seemed the same. We could still party like old times as long as we were home by 11, wore comfortable shoes, and took a couple of aspirin and an antacid. And since we couldn't see our crow's feet without our reading glasses, essentially we were the same. Close enough, I reasoned. I fiddled with the television remote. My laptop was on the coffee table next to the margarine I was reading. That was me doing a dozen things at once, packing everything I could in a moment. I was busy with graduate school, anxious, arduous job search, and being stereotypical, valiant, strong, single mother of two boys. She steadied herself near the last rose of the season, quiet and still, taking a photo after photo. Eventually, even the dog got bored with her endeavor and walked away. I've been there, y'all. My dog gets bored of me too. Suddenly, a song from Mary Poppins filled the air. I was pretty sure it's coming from outside my head. The day was getting progressively stranger. That's my cell phone, she remarked. I set the alarm on it to remind me to take my medicine. Spoonful of sugar, get it? An alarm for meds, I laughed. Are we that old? I still refused to write grocery lists, insisting on carrying the list around in my head. I've forgotten many things that way. But so what? It was the principal thing. I would get old when I was good and ready. Anger kept me young, I figured. Those days were bittersweet. My fury, harsh but healthy. Strange looking pills, I remarked as she pulled them from her purse. They're for my liver. She took a drink of water anxiously. Actually, I don't know why I said anxiously. Maybe it wasn't significant. Actually, it's not my liver. I'm just borrowing it. One corner of her mouth curled upward. These are real short stories, just to get you thinking. Every few hours, Annie took anti-rejection medication to keep her body from attacking her donated organ. 8 years earlier, she had been diagnosed with a rare liver disorder. One so rare that her doctor missed it completely. Somehow, though, she knew something was wrong. But she didn't know exactly what. It was a fluke, really, she said. What are the chances of meeting a liver specialist at a party? And he was cute. She had a slew of flukes in her life after her liver transplant. Can't even barely speak today. She came down with thyroid cancer discovered by chance during a checkup by a doctor, touching the base of her throat. I told him he was examining the wrong end of me, she giggled. She could giggle at the damnedest things. One day she felt dizzy with her track record. Her doctor sent her for an MRI, which revealed a small tumor in her brain. It's no bigger than your fingernail. It hasn't grown at all. And that's a good sign. After all, size is everything. That was Annie, ever hopeful, giggling, and fluky. Even a brain tumor was not beyond joking about. I envied her attitude, but certainly not her situation. She'd be leaving soon. It was just fine. I was just fine alone. It was great to have her here. share old times, but I was comfortable on my own. I didn't need anybody. With a hug, she was off, and I grabbed a beer from the fridge. Later that day, an email popped up from her, taking forever, one day to load, especially to an impatient, moody, grumpy grump like me. Sheesh, I huffed. I have things to do. It was filled with her flower photos, still clear and beautiful. She had taken a few blooms and made them glow. Made them perfect, made them timeless. Just a few raggedy flowers. Damn, I thought. She had gotten past the anger. Past the pity, she was on the other side, capturing giggles and panicking and picking flowers. Maybe she was panicking when she was picking the flowers. I don't know. Making an incredible, everlasting bouquet while I grumbled and whined. That too wasn't fair. And then we got, I wanted to be able to do that. Here I was trying to cram all sorts of events in my life so it would count for something. And she blithely took one moment at a time, polished it until it shined, and shared it with everyone. She made it look easy compared to many things in her life. I guess it was. Quietly, she was able to stop the world from turning, keep it still for a moment. Interesting that it take the time to look at a single. Lowly Daisy, even more extraordinary, the world would do it. Wow, I wrote back. These are incredible. Lame, I know, but for once I was beyond words. Annie, she replied, knowing what I was thinking. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. We don't know if we'll even have it tomorrow, so I choose to focus on today. That's why I take pictures. That's why I come to visit you. That's why I'm here. I shifted my gaze to outside. It got now. I got it now. I was stubborn and thick headed, but firmly I got it, and I thought I was the strong one. She'll be back to visit again, I'm sure of it. Until then, I have her flowers in full bloom. Actually, I always had them, but it was Annie who got me to really see them. These are just literal small stories of the day, y'all. And maybe on the next one I'll read From Slowing Down to the Speed of Joy. Just small little thing. And then our daily bread. I always think this is good to read from. Because it has in here like things for every day. And I feel even if you're one of these, even if you're like a person that just believes in energy, I just think even all energy, this is like church is a positive energy. It doesn't matter what church you belong to, you can read from any Bible and it has a lot of good energy. You want to focus on harnessing the good energy in whatever you do because if you don't harness the right energy, this energy comes back to bite you. It'll bite you in the arse, as they say in Scotland. I like arse instead of ASS. I don't know. I'm doing these kid videos, so I'm gonna read Deep Roots. It's Jeremiah 17:5-8. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, which would be the Creator, which would be the ultimate light that's out there. The ultimate positivity light bulb, I like to call it. God is the happy light bulb in the world. It is. It's the happy light bulb in the world. And it says, as Douglas Kent, a landscape architect, toured a charred Los Angeles neighborhood after a city's raging or ragging 2025 wildfires, he encountered a shocking surprise. Trees, alive and green, right next to melted cars and burned bridges. Many of them bore lush palms and leaves, abundant fruit, and strong trunks and branches. How? After two consecutive rainy winters, the tree's roots had reached deep into the soil to draw moisture, carrying it to the branches and leaves. In a fire, they proved resistant. What I saw, said Kent, was that if you were deep rooted, you survived. Our faith during the fiery trials of life can be like that as we set our spiritual roots deep in Christ and His love. We become like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are green. It has no worries in a year of drought. It never fails to bear fruit. Jeremiah 17:8. Thought it was 18. It's 8. Jeremiah, who never minced words, warned that those who trust in mere flesh are cursed. That a person will be like a bush in the wastelands. They will not see prosperity when it comes. Instead, they will not dwell in the parched places of the desert, in a salt land where no one lives. How much better to trust in God, well watered by His sustained life. We thrive even in raging times, bearing fruit in Him. How deep are your roots in Christ? How can you trust Him during fiery battles? Dear God, as the world seems to burn around me, please remind me to trust in you. This discarded energy reminds me a lot of trust. Somebody lost a lot of trust. And the thing is the world has survived through a lot of horrible circumstances, through many, many thousands and millions of years. As we became a planet, even before, because you gotta give God credit even for making the earth, because I do believe that God is everything. I believe God is everything. I believe when the Big Bang Theory came and Earth was awakened, it was part of God's plan. All of this was all a part of God's plan. Even down to this moment in time with me talking to you, it was God's plan. So, whatever troubles you're going through, if somebody's just being extra nasty to you, don't fret, because the people, all people will come and go. I tell you this. I'm old. So, I'm going to put these little cards out. I do like them for the. I mean, I thought this was crazy when Spirit told me to use these little tiny cards. And I go, I didn't even get these from Amazon. I got these from my grandson. He don't use them. And as y'all know, I'm moving. So I was like, should I throw these away? I don't know if I'm going to be able to ever use these again. And you'll behold, I listened to God and I am able to use them. So, because I do. I trust if He says it's a good idea, I say, okay. God says it's a good idea to keep coming up here and talking to you guys, because God says that people will get the message eventually. He said the wicked will move and judge, and the people that really need to hear the message will be here. I mean, I'm not, this is just what I hear. I hear this, this is what God tells me. I do what God tells me. That's it, y'all. I mean, I'm not up here trying to gaslight anybody. I just do what God tells me. And God, that this is what God says to do. So I literally do what God says to do. He said these little cards were helpful, and honestly, it was. These crazy little stupid cards that I didn't, that just were laying around the house, discarded. And I should have just done throw them away because I didn't need them no more. Was very helpful. I mean, I was able to pull a couple cards just on that. I mean, this is the kind of discarded thing. Don't count out the discarded things in your life. I guess this is where I'm going with that. If things seem like they're not going right as they were planned, maybe it's doing that for a reason. If somebody is just all of a sudden turns on you, okay, and this happens pretty much all the time. Somebody switches up on you, and I hear it from the younger. I have teenage boys. I hear this all the time. They switched up on me, Ma. Well, I don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they switched up on you, but sometimes when someone leaves you, it's an unanswered prayer. Sometimes when someone decides they want to go with somebody that they think is more sexier and they don't like you, that too is an unanswered prayer. Because God pays attention. When I was going through my things, my friends are churchgoers, and they said God pays attention. They're not, that this, your ex is not a good person. And I was like, what do you mean? It was like, God pays attention. They're, just because they seem like they're happy now doesn't mean that's going to work out the way you think it is. And you'll behold, were they right? I'm just saying. And I'm just saying this for someone that needed to hear it. And I really like chicken soup for the soul. It has so many happy things. Alright, since I already pre-shuffled that, we got love. The lovers. This connection is a catalyst for healing, for self-discovery and spiritual evolution. The lovers. Alright, I'm getting this new love is coming for somebody. Okay? New love is coming for you. I'm not sure when or where, but you got to get aligned with love, okay? And then we have, I just picked the first one at the top as I individually do this. And then I got insolvency. Insolvency, yeah. And then this is King of Pentacles in reverse. These are my Oracle tarot cards here. And this is talking about chasing status without substance leads to failed financial ventures and what the heck, hang on. Envision, oh, okay, erosion of security. Okay. All right, there's a financial, someone chasing status is going to lose money with this connection with the lovers. So be careful about this. And then there's clarity, which is the Page of Cups in reverse. All right, I'll show you that one. It says, let go of apathy and embrace what's here. Shift your perspective to new possibilities. All right, clarity. This is I feel like somebody's love is chasing a lot of, well, obviously the cards say status, but I feel like they're chasing kind of like this is like somebody, there's so many YouTubers, so many, oh my god. I feel like this is somebody chasing status on the social media. This is what I'm picking up. And I feel that it's causing a rift in a relationship because they need that validation. They need the validation. See, folks, me, if I don't become a super popular, it won't break my heart because you know what? I know that eventually it's my turn to die, and I'm willing to do that when the time comes, and I'm okay with dying, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. But some people are just not comfortable in their own skin. And I feel this person is not. So let's see under this love what we get here. Oh my god. It's here. The tower in reverse. Okay. And this is not for the person that's chasing clout. This is for you. This is your lover that is this social media person. And, influencer. I just think of myself as a friend of humanity, but I guess technically I'm an influencer. But this influencer over here is in a tower in reverse, okay? I will show you the thing. This tower energy is pretty strong as hell, y'all. And then the oracle side of this is prevention. You're being invited to initiate. Oh my god. Yeah, initiate your own transformation before it's thrust upon you. Alright, this person is going through a tower, okay? And there's going to be a lot of destruction. And this is what he's going, or she. This is what he or she's going to be going through, okay? What he or she's going to be going through is destruction. Radical change comes suddenly, clearing space to build something new. Their entire empire is going to come crashing down with the social media thing. You, my friend, are getting the opposite end. This is what this reading is a warning for you to get whatever you need done and leave before the tower appears. This tower energy. Because it's going to take over. And you're not going to have your relationship no more. That's just the way it is. Your relationship is going to be over. Because this tower is taking out any love relationships. Their pages are going to start coming down. They're going to lose followers. It's going to be pretty intense for this person. That's all I can tell you. All right, and then we got dang. You know what? This reading is going so far one way. It's crazy. We got the sun in reverse. And this person is going to be we got pessimism. And if you it's going to be they're going to be a pessimist. That's it. And then we got a temporary setback maybe causing a shallow focus on positive conditions will improve. They're going to be pessimistic with you. This person is going to be pessimistic. They're going to kind of start fighting with you. They're going to start picking fights with you. They're going to start doing a lot of stuff. And under this clarity, I don't know. It seems like one other negative. It's like this reading is one negative after another. Not all these cards are upside down. They're not. I promise. I have to do some upside down because I got to find out whether it's you or the other person. And this is definitely a warning for someone. I seem to get every tower energy in the world. That's what the good Lord gives me. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't do this. This was the good Lord, not me. We got the High Priestess in reverse. Confusion. When inner guidance feels blocked, it's easy to lose touch with your spiritual creator. You are confused. You think this person's a good person. They are not. They have a tower coming, and that tower, baby, is gonna kick their ass. Is what that tower is going to do. When I touch a tower energy with a 10-foot pole. This is why I stay positive, and I just, if and Spirit tells me to do one thing, I say, okay, Lord, and I just do it. I do not question what God says, what God means, nothing. I don't question any of it because the divine does not like when people question anything. I will tell you that. So the worst thing for you to do now is question God. So please do not question God. I'm going to use my Dead Inside deck. Let's use the Dead Inside. Okay, I got this one. I know that some of the really big tarot streamers, they get these premium cards, okay? But I'm not a fancy person. I'm not. I'm not fancy at all, y'all. I'm just here living my best life. Even though me and my dog don't have the most money, even though we're not rich, but I watch my pentacles, as they say. I'm living my best life. I'm okay with living in an apartment, like I was telling my son. In the end, your house gets sold. So I don't really care. I don't really care if I buy a house or get a house. I'm going to invest my money in life insurance policies. That I am, because life insurance policies is something that the government cannot touch. They can't. They cannot touch your life insurance policy at all. If you have a set amount of money you want to give to your kids when you meet the good Lord, when it's your time, that's fine. Instead of worrying about these mortgages, I am literally just going to have like $1 million policy here, $100,000 policy there, and then when I die, my kids will just get all this money. Won't have to sell anything, and nobody can take nothing from them. I'm gonna have it all set up, and I'm just gonna pay into life insurance policies. It's my actual plan in the world. We got tears. What tears? Denial, emotion, and pretense. Okay, someone's gonna be in denial about your tears. That's what we got there. You know what? Tears, what tears? Maybe they're gonna find another party. I don't know. You know what I mean? That party of that sex party somewhere. They all find that other sex party and they think this other person is grand and is gonna be better, and they never are. We got toxic but familiar, a pattern, attachment, comfort, and pain. Something seems toxic but familiar. The tower is coming. Oh, it is. Don't step in the way. Don't step in the way of the tower. I don't know, just one of those days, y'all. One of those days. It's so nice I have to throw away a lot of stuff. I get excited throwing away garbage. Because I'm getting a God. When we go to move, I'm gonna have everything boxed up, and there's not gonna be a whole lot to do, but just move it to the U-Haul. All right. Then we got said yes when you meant hell no. Wow. Is this what happened? You said yes, but you really meant no. Because this tower, when it hits them, it's going to be financially. I tell you, it's going to be financially. And I just don't want to get involved in these things. I wouldn't get involved in this whole tower energy if it was me. I would not. If someone told me there was a tower coming, I'd say let me move out of the way, and I would that would be it. All right, we got social battery 0% drain, antisocial shutdown. They ran out of ideas for their platform, and they're blaming you because they ran out of ideas. You know, you're not tapped into source and some positive kind of thing, even if you're not a tarot reader. God God provides everything. That positive energy that God provides, it gives you everything. I mean, I literally talk to the divine every day. I pray. I pray to the creator and say, what do I do today? And they tell me what I'm doing today, just like these stupid little cards. And they ended up being a really good idea, and it was sitting around my house. And then you have over here convincing yourself it's fine, drain and emotional suppression. Someone's convincing themselves it's fine, but they're drained, okay? They were counting on this social media business. Maybe they don't have a job is what it is. Like things to fall back on that are tangible. Maybe that is half of the problem why they feel this way. I don't know. That's what I'm picking up. It wasn't closure, open endings, unanswered emotional hangover. All right, somebody left them before you. That's what I'm getting from this card, like an ex. And they just stopped talking to them. They just stopped talking to them, and it's messing with their head, but they don't want to tell you. That's exactly what's going on there. They don't want to talk about it. They just don't want to talk about it, but that whole business with their ex is really bothering them. I'm in the tarot reader that's going to tell you that really is bothering them. That's what's going on. If they are not, what this is what they're not saying. I really like the skulls. I think these skulls are fun. See, to me, this is not a job. This is actually just fun to me. Because I would just be sitting here because I've been watching. God, what is it that runoff from Buffy? And I was watching Beautiful Creatures. I just be going and watching this stuff because I'm not paying for all my apps for the movies right now until after I get to move in. And I'm really not buying any kind of groceries, just what we're going to eat immediately. All right. Oh, somebody blocked AF as F. Blocked A as F. Cut off, disbelief, avoidance. All right. Somebody in the energy of who you're thinking about, either you blocked them or their ex blocked them and it's bothering them, but they're not telling you. As soon as, I don't know, I'm getting narcissist vibes with this one. I really don't like narcissists, y'all. Not at all. I am not a narcissist fan. I don't like them. I feel that they always have a hidden agenda. And they never really kind of care about other people's feelings, which makes it even worse. And this is what I don't like about narcissists. I can see that, everyone has to learn their karmic lesson, but these guys don't ever seem to learn their lesson. And they got vanished while meditating. Mind fog, awareness, and collapse. They're meditating for ideas and they're vanishing because they're so negative, positive vibes can't come to them. And when we manifest things, that you have to be in a positive mindset. This person's negative. AF. Negative AF. I like that. Instead of actually cussing, you could say negative AF. Alright, I'm gonna shuffle this way so we get more answers here. And more options for Spirit. Tell us more, Spirit. These are kind of just forming together pretty nice, honestly. It's just this discarded energy. Somebody that, if you are discarded from this narcissistic person, we got manifesting and sleep, spiritual fatigue, wishful thinking, burnout, nap. All right, this person that discarded you, and this discarding energy is trying to manifest in their sleep, but it's not working because they're dead inside. That's why the deck says dead inside. See? The dead inside deck. I like to call this the narcissist way of thinking. But this is what they are doing. And then it says, don't look at me, avoiding eye contact like a pro. They're avoiding you right here. They are doing that also. I bought this just for this kind of avoidant personality to get to what they're doing. Because that's what sometimes these people do. I call them these people because that is what they do sometimes. They're terrible. They are. These people are terrible. They could be just downright awful. They really can be. I've never seen anything so crazy till I got to this energy in my life and witnessed it for myself. And I was devastated, and I decided to come on social media to help other people going through this energy because this energy is just very toxic, and this energy really can mess you up. So, and I'm still going to keep working and buy my life insurance policies and things like that. And just invest my money in that and just have my little fun trying to get my message across because I gotta live also because I don't live extravagantly. But your person was getting a room, motel, hotel, suite, business, pleasure. That's what they were doing. We're gonna put this right here. They were getting a room. This is why this tower's here, y'all. And they have fake friends. If this isn't more motivation to get away from this person, I don't know what is. And they were not using sexual protection. So, possibly they might have something. Possibly they don't. I don't know. There's always a possibility, now isn't there? But that is another clarification. They probably said, maybe they got like 500,000 subscribers or something. It doesn't mean they're not a douchebag. I don't care if you got 1,000,000 subscribers. You could be a douchebag. Amen to that. Because douchebags are rich and some douchebags are poor, but a douchebag is a douchebag is a douchebag. Alright? Now, let's do what's blocking you. What's blocking this situation to not go forward into, I mean, I would like it, this situation, to where you actually took back your energy, but that is on you, my friend. You could take their karma with this tower and receive all the bad luck, and then they can go down and be with this person they got to the hotel with and live their best life. Or you could just say, you know what, I ain't dealing with you. See you later. Bye, Felicia. I would rather see that than them getting away with murder. Because that's what happens, you know? It just seems they got away with it. If you don't take your energy back, who got away with it? They're going to lie, they're going to change the narrative, and you're going to be made out the villain, and you're going to be shamed, and for what? And for what? That's how these people operate. They operate in demon time. All right, we got unavailable. You are chasing someone unavailable, or you are the one who's running away. This person is unavailable. Even if they say they are available to you, they're leading a double life. But they are unavailable. That's it. They're unavailable. And then we have being guarded. You are lonely because you're so aloft. Trust others and let them into your heart. You're being guarded because you trust this narcissist person. And you think, and they got you thinking that every single person that you come across is against them and against you. That no one's against anybody, y'all. No one is against anybody. They just do not want to be found out. That's it. Okay? Then we got eye candy. Beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. Eye candy. So they chose somebody that they thought was better looking than you. That's it. Point blank, period. And they're going to find out that the grass isn't greener. And then they're going to want you to take them back. I guess my question to you is, are you going to? I mean, I am a firm believer that when I was going through my stuff, that people that talk to me, or these videos that came, a video would just come and I would go, man, that is really good. They really understand me. And a lot of times they did. They were tuned to my energy. So I feel if you think this is tuned to your energy, this is confirmation that there's somebody out there that wants you, that loves you and wants you to make the right choice and love yourself and go through that self-love journey. That is the main goal of this video. And I'm going to end it. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. And if not, it's okay. I'm alright with either way. But thank you, and I love y'all, and big hearts. Big hearts. I like big hearts. Big hearts, y'all. And hopefully I see you on the next one. I'm going to probably end up doing another one too. Maybe I'll use these little tiny cards. I really like the shirt cards. I don't know. I might go to the store and find a bunch of those. They're always within budget. I do got life insurance policies to pay for because I got about 5 more I want to get out. But yeah. And I love y'all, and I will see you hopefully on the next one.